for, but it may be something else. And you are literally sacrificing the little you have left just to take care of the other equally important needs. And that's what we're doing now. So the 010 is not just for food. It's for everything, literally.
I guess
so
that is why we have to put all the issues into perspective, because already when you communicate and then you tend to also rebroadcast what you take from the audience about the conditions of living worsening, I think that the government and its assigns don't seem to take it well. And just yesterday, the TUC met the IGP to again tell him and again re-emphasize that when we say that we're demonstrating, it's not because of anything. You have to give us a certain leeway because you agree terms and conditions with us, and all of a sudden you go through the processes of the court to place injunctions on the actions that you have agreed with us. And I think it's the worst thing anybody can ever do. It is enshrined in the Constitution. Your freedom of association and speech are all there. And if I can't be in a position as a citizen of the country where my right to associate with any grouping or pressure group or to be able to say what I want to say as enshrined in the Constitution, that is problematic. And we know that recently we've seen a number of actions by the police and then the apparatus of the state, which is indicating that the atmosphere is not rife for dissent by any ordinary Ghanaian, whether you are affiliated to a political party or you are apolitical. Before we had the Occupy Julobi demonstration or picketing, there was supposed to have been Occupy BOG. And we've seen even demonstrations that have suffered a lot of setbacks the last couple of years, or under this government that is headed by a so-called human rights advocate. And that is problematic, you know. Anyway.
Things will get better when we get to a place as a country where we can criticize things that are not working without necessarily making it a political conversation, without necessarily being targeted and being marked as someone who's been paid by an opposition to say something. Things are not working. Things are not working. We should be able to have this conversation. That's why I must say the young people who came out to protest for Occupy Jolobi and other protests that have happened in the past, which have been clearly non-political, have done an amazing job. Because this young lady cannot pay for her dialysis. A lot of people are complaining. When that picture came out about the increase in cost in dialysis, the people in the hospital who are unable to pay for their dialysis are not NDC people or NPP people or CPP people, whatever. They are Ghanaians. And so when, as Ghanaians, we complain about these things, it's high time, no matter where you sit on the political divide, you're able to look at it through an objective lens and not make it political. As for the Kolibu conversation and the question on dialysis and the question on the infrastructure and lack of ICU in the neurocenter and all, it's a big conversation for another day.
It is.
That we will have. But Bella, yesterday you had an amazing interview with Alan. I enjoyed the interview from start to finish. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Very much.
But while I was watching it, I liked that he asked you about why you were not asking him questions about the youth, and you told you were coming to it. Because since Alan started his Movement for Change campaign at the launch of his Movement for Change, I asked myself one question. If Alan is so big on championing the cause of the youth and being the man for young people, why is he at 68 years old aspiring to be the one to lead this movement? Why is he not nominating or encouraging a younger person, the youth who he claims to be for, to take up the mantle to lead this movement for change? That's the question I have for Alan Kyerematen and the people who support him. It's great what he's doing in politics. It's interesting. It's a good thing for our politics that, you know, an independent candidate will begin a movement, not a party, to start something. You know, it's revolutionary. But why are you at 68 looking to champion this movement? Why are you not encouraging, nominating, selecting a young person who you can support and push with your political clout and, you know, all that you have gathered as a great politician in Ghana to lead this? Why must you be the one to lead it? Must you be president at all costs? That's my question for Alan Kyerematen. this morning. And that's what we're talking about this morning on our this morning segment. What is your big take out from that very, very interesting interview yesterday on New Day with Alan Kyerematen and Bella Mundi? What is your take out from the Alan Kyerematen interview? The interview trended all day yesterday. There were a lot of questions coming through. Bella, I'm sure you couldn't even exhaust the questions.
Yeah, not at all. I don't even think I scratched the surface with the questions from the viewers
from social
and the
media.
public. Yes, I couldn't. But I think that there's something that he said about young people and how he's going to make sure that they represent heavily, in his government. And the fact that he gave a percentage, I think about 45 to 60% of young people are going to take up positions in his government. And it doesn't really matter whether you belong to the NDC, the NPP, as long as he believes that you can do the job, he will give you, that mandate. I'm looking forward to, if he does win, I'm looking forward to this actually materializing, because we were all here when President Akufo-Addo told us that he was going to make sure that at least, 40% of, his appointments would be for women.
Yeah.
It would have female representation. We're still battling that as we stand now. It has not manifested. And he's not the only one who has made that promise. I mean, if you go back to the NDC as well, they also made that promise back in 2012, that we're going to have about 30% or so of female representation within their government. We didn't see that happen. So it's as if they tell us things that they know we want to hear, but when they actually come into power, it's a totally different thing altogether. And now when you start asking them questions, they're like, oh, yeah, we'll do it eventually. Or women have not really put themselves forth to allow us to even give them that appointment. And there are so many women who are doing amazing things. Yep. So why is that not happening? So if you say that young people are going to make up a greater percentage of your governance...
23, I think he said between 23 to 45 years to make up exactly 60% of his government.
So if you're saying that, have you identified some of these young people already? Have you started talking to them? Because you're saying that, of course, we know that the statistics show that young people vote more. So if that's the case, have you started identifying those people? And would you be talking to them? Are they even interested in wanting to take up these positions? And again, the issue of attitudinal change, because whether we like it or not, the whole society is depraved. And so if you're going to use these young people, what's the guarantee that they're not going to come in there? And I trust young people to do their job, especially when you're giving them, the right work to do. Yeah. But we have seen how other young people have gone into politics with the notion that it's an avenue to make money. And so I'm not really going in there because I care for my nation. I'm not going in there because I want to help everybody else. I'm going in there so I can get a brand new car or a home that I can live in and take care of myself and travel around. How are we going to change that perception even before we open the doors to allow everybody else in to govern? It's a lot of work that we have to do.
Questions.
I guess you always tend to ask yourself that since 1992, what has been the commitment? I remember Professor Mills was the Kufuor administration as well. The benchmark has always been what has been done in Rwanda, where there's been a deliberate effort. Because, take it or not, the NDC and the NPP, they hold the power to the political office each election year. They make the decisions. So if there's a deliberate decision by either of the two parties, whether it is to promote young people in leadership or women, that is, give them the right sort of quotas, they will. Yeah. I remember in the Kufuor administration, I think that he decided to persuade his party where there was a deliberate effort to make sure that in areas where they felt that they wanted an individual to contest, let's say you take Dr. Ndu, for example, to become a member of parliament of KEA, for example, they didn't feel their candidate. Yeah. So that also paved the way to enable Dr. Ndu to become a member of parliament. Of course, he may dispute that, but the truth is, if somebody like Bernard Mona is contesting in a particular place in Upper West or wherever he wants to contest, any of the two parties feel the candidate, he's not going to win. Yeah. That's the truth. So you can see that there's been a deliberate effort by the two parties to inch away all these marginalized or vulnerable groups, even though in their wedding or manifestos or their promises, they say otherwise. Yeah. And these are key issues. Women, giving opportunity to young people. Yeah. And before you do that, there has to be a process of grooming. Yeah. Right now, all the young people that we've seen who are in politics just go from SRC, they're in JCR, go to SRC, they go to NUCS, then they come to do political shows or discussions, and they are given ministerial job. The person doesn't have any experience, hasn't worked in in any setup where they tend to do managerial activity or supervision, and they're supposed to go and manage a whole chief director who has been in the ministry for, let's say, 30 years. And we all know that we all play ostrich. They say, yes, sir, yes, sir. And they know that the political figure who is the head doesn't know anything. And these are the real issues that will still confront us. If we don't change the approach, we're going to have all these things manifesting all the time. We can go to 37 and do the protests, but if the willingness or the commitment is not there, that's where we're going to be.
Well, we want to hear from you, and so we'll activate the phone line shortly. But let's run you through quickly what to expect on the show today. So as usual, we're asking you, what is your take home from the conversation we had with independent presidential aspirant Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen yesterday? Let us know via social media as well. The hashtag is TV3 New Day. Johnny will come your way with bites, and I'm quite interested to hear what he has to say today. And then right after that, we're going into the big issue. It's Thursday, so we have the women joining us this morning. And we're talking about Alan and some of the comments that he made and the responses he gave to the NPP with regards to, you know, not informing them before going ahead to resign publicly from the party and go ahead as an independent candidate. He says that he you know, is not happy with that tag, that he did not inform the party. And so we'll talk about that and also go into Occupy Jullobi and, of course, Occupy BOG as well. It's coming up in about a week. Are you joining, and what do you make of the situation so far? We'll go into other conversations later today as well. And so if we can put those ones up. Okay, so Roland is coming your way with a day in the life of a user of a ride-hailing app.
The challenges that
they, it's a driver. Okay, so it's the challenges that they face?
Yes.
Is this an Uber driver?
Yeah, Uber driver. And his experience, I haven't been in the business for the last 3 years. So we're going to look at Wisdom's story.
I'm looking forward to it. I hope he's never been attacked. That's become the big fear of many of the drivers.
He said his friends have been attacked.
So,
for example, I have Helga Boidi, who is saying that our priorities are skewed. For example, all the talk about dialysis and the centers, we need more. Ideally, dialysis should be free. I think he's right. Sorry.
All right. So today, I'm excited about the last thing we're going to be talking about.
Yes.
We're going to have live theater on New Day today. The sound of music, the greatest sound of all time. The characters from the stage play, which is happening on the 14th of October, will be here to give us a piece of the act from the play. So if you know the sound of music, it's based on the 1965 musical romance film on Captain Von Trapp and a certain governess called Maria. If you watched TV in the 90s, on GTV, I'm sure. Sound of Music showed so many times, and it's coming to the National Theatre for the first time on the 14th of October. The cast will be here to, remember the song, though, a dear, a female dear? Goodness, I'm so tone deaf, but yeah, I tried. So,
no, I think you tried, actually. I think you tried.
So they'll be here later to give us just a little piece from the theatrical performance and to give you reasons to come see the show on the 14th of October. Those and many more are what we have for you today on TV3 New Day. When we come back, we'll delve straight into our This Morning segment and ask you this question. What is your biggest takeout from Alan's interview yesterday? Remember, you can also cash out. Dial *439# now to stand a chance of winning 1,000 Ghana cedis out of the 4,000 we'll be giving away this morning. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Do you need a place with a stunning view and serene environment just beneath the Green Mountains with a commercial center and recreational area with an amazing park? Then look no further.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Welcome to Rehoboth Havens, the most affordable yet luxurious gated community located in Damfa, Accra. We have 2 and 3 bedroom houses with spacious park. Let me show you. All of our rooms come with beautiful porcelain tiles, durable fitted kitchen cabinets,
constant water supply,
electricity and water 24/7.
I'm buying this house. Stop processing my papers. Move it. If you're living in Ghana and want an affordable and luxurious house to buy, look no further than Rehoboth Social Housing Limited. Oh, and to those from the diaspora, aren't you tired of living in places that doesn't belong to you? You can also own your house and be your own landlord from Rehoboth Social Housing Limited. I have my own, Bossu Landlord.
Contact us now. Rehoboth Social Housing. Your housing dream becomes reality.
Jumeko baako a waso yasene mehu sikanie sika bebajo yaji eni ni enye sika True Games na ye True Games dia bebajo fa phone eye yamo eye iPhone no eye dinyo na we dale sa star 959 hash. Let's take it.
Hands make work easier. It's all hands on deck to protect your family and friends from COVID. It's up to you and it's up to me. It's up to us. Together, we can protect the vulnerable in society as well as our future. Play your role and get the vaccine. We are stronger together. Forget the yab, get the jab. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Health Service, FHI 360, and Good Life. Live it well. Many hands make work easier. It's all hands on deck to protect your family and friends from COVID. It's up to you and it's up to me. It's up to us. Together, we can protect the vulnerable in society as well as our future. Play your role and get the vaccine. We are stronger together. Forget the yab, get the jab. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Health Service, FHI 360, and Good Life. Live it well.
First of all, rap me here so me ding the Lydia.
Every woman is all in me. Anything, all I know is.
Some of us stood out with our showmanship and outstanding performances.
Most of us with great voices took our chances on the biggest music reality show.
Don't forget lyrical abilities and style.
Mentor is God, and the moment to shine is now.
The Mentor audition train stops in Tamale on the 24th of September at the Gariba Lodge.
Kumasi on the 26th of September at the Akuma FM premises. In Takoradi on the 29th of September at Connect FM. And finally in Accra on the 1st of October 2023 at the TV3 premises. Time is 8 a.m. each day.
You can become the next winner. Don't miss out.
Mentor 12. The world awaits you.
Mentor is brought to you by Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Mosquito Coil and Napa Foods Sense Body Spray.
Bell Ice.
Bold. Edgy. Classy.
you ready to strut your stuff and shine in the spotlight? Then join Ghana's most photogenic to set the ball rolling. You must be between the ages of 18 to 28 years. You must be at least 5.5 feet tall, not weigh more than 90 kg. You must be fluent in the English language. Send a video of yourself walking towards and away from camera with a short voiceover about yourself. A portrait and full-length photo of yourself. To WhatsApp number 0277 222 641. You can also nominate your favorite model on social media with the hashtag TV3's Ghana's Most Photogenic and tag @TV3Ghana on all social media platforms. Entries end on 7th October. Ghana's Most Photogenic. Beauty through the lens.
I love love, and I love it whenever people gather to celebrate love.
This marriage thing, is it good for me to just get a child out of wedlock, just impregnate a woman and
have children?
Have 1 or 2 children?
We need to understand that marriage is not a societal obligation. It is not something you do to fulfill somebody's agenda.
Marriage is about purpose.
Yes.
But sometimes we tend to look at the love aspect without considering why I'm entering into the marriage.
The fear is crippling him and stopping him from moving forward.
Yes.
Because one of the things he should have tried to do is find out why his father divorced and why the people around him have divorced, so that he can make the right choices.
Yeah. Once he is afraid of the future he's afraid of would attend to him.
Confessions shows on Saturdays at 9:30 p.m. on TV3.
Brought to you by
MTN.
You're welcome back, and this is still TV3 New Day. And yes, we would like to hear from you. You should have been part of our conversation earlier. Very interesting one. Early morning ravens. But anyway, we want to hear from you this morning. I'm sure that in your office, in your schools, in your homes, you've been talking about your takeout from the Alan John Kojo Tremate interview that we had exclusively with him on TV3 New Day. For you, are you convinced that he is the man for the people? Are you convinced that he's that third force that we're looking for? Or do you think that maybe he should come again because, you know, he couldn't really touch on the policies that are important to you? Let us hear from you this morning. Fantastic. The numbers are on your screens, and we'll also like to hear from you on social media. The hashtag is TV3 New Day. Yeah.
Now this one from Chairman Godwin Tamaklo of the Rage Group, who says that, well, all issues of policy can always be spearheaded by any of our government. So it is all about the commitment, and he's wishing Philip Kofi Enim, aka Adon of Jubilee House, and it's coming from his wife, Mrs. Enim, as well.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Zana.
Thank you for calling, sir. What's your name?
My name is Abdulmanan Tenga from Wa.
All right. I hope everyone in Wa is doing well. Talk to us.
Oh, we are all doing well, by God's grace.
Okay. Please talk to us.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. And for my observation, I think what Alan did, to me, he's right in a way.
Okay.
Because any association or group, if you are there and you are not treated fairly, you can take your own decision by quitting that particular association or a group you belong to. Because you all need to come together, or at the beginning of the thing, there should be a fair playing field for everybody. At the end of the day, when you lose but you cannot co-play. But if you see that the whole game, there's no fairness, if the moment you even continue to contest and you lose, you see that it's because there's no a fair playing field. That is why you lose. So I think there wasn't a fair playing field for him.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for calling. And you can also call as well. Do you agree with our first caller? Do you have other opinions on this matter? And from the conversation yesterday, what do you think were the highlights for you? The numbers are on your screen at this point. Let's see what social. Oh, we have another caller now. Well, hello, good morning.
Okay.
Hello. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling. What's your name, sir?
It's Abdul Baki from Wa.
Okay. Oh, we're getting a number of calls from Wa today. Talk to us, please.
Okay. What I've also seen is that I think that Alan is not coming to be our president. He's only taking a hard bite on the NPP because of the recent happenings in their super delegate, whatever. But decisions or ideas that you talked with him yesterday, I really enjoyed it, but I don't think it can work in Ghana here.
Why don't you think?
Since he's from the NPP side, it's not going to work.
Because
if he's also coming from that team where they are all in, he's also having the same narrative of everybody. Just like the way they convinced us, and we gave it to them, and they are now maltreating us. So that's my take.
But if he's broken away and he says he's no more a member of the party and he's an independent candidate now, you don't think that that's enough to want to vote for him?
Yeah, but he has been there for several years, so I don't think he's going to do anything different from what they are doing now.
All right, thank you.
Let me read some messages coming in on X yesterday after the interview. Augustine says, why are some people expecting Alan this morning to bash the government of which he was a cabinet minister for and a founding member of? What Ankasa do Ghanaians want from this man? Leave him alone. All right. People, please listen to Alan carefully so that we can decide whether or not he'll be a good third force for us. All right. I wasn't expecting much from Alan Kyerematen, but it's like, okay, I cannot read the rest of this. We have another call on the line. Hello? This is our last caller. Hi, what's your name, sir?
Hello.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
My name is Theophilus, calling from Takwa.
Theophilus, you're welcome to the show. What's your takeout from yesterday's interview with Alan?
Oh, okay. I think for me, it's not coming to do anything new. It was part of the old stock.
Oh.
Part of the old stock. Because
he has started a new movement for change, which is going to champion the cause of the youth.
I know, but now look at our economy. It was part of the so-called ENT. Now he wants to be an independent president. He's not coming to do anything new. But yesterday, I listened to him on Joy News with Evans. And the kind of answers he was giving to Evans, I mean, I think the man is simply not ready to be our president.
What were you expecting him to say that he did not say?
Like the question you asked, you are 68 years old. You have younger people in the system. Why can't you pick one or two and at least nurture them? But you're coming to also, you're also coming to be under burden on our head. I mean, I think the man is simply not ready.
Oh.
Seriously, he's not ready.
Okay. All right. Thank you for calling. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on your takeout from Alan's interview yesterday. He says the man is simply not ready.
Yeah.
He says he's ready. He's been preparing for this for a very, very long time. He's been preparing to be president for a long time. It's just now that he's asking for us to vote for him on a different ticket. But as for the presidency, he has been working on becoming president of Ghana for a very, very long time. But thank you for your calls. We appreciate them. Next is Johnny's Bite, and John Hughes is on standby.
Sometimes our people disagree with you, but I mean, I understand some of your approach. I mean, sometimes we take a hard bite. It helps us as politicians.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even panic.
Why?
Hey,
why do you panic?
The way you, Papa, you know Papa.
Figuratively, he bites as hard as he can. Okay. And of course, when he puts his fangs into you, you certainly feel it. I think it privileges
Johnny's bite.
Bismillahir Rahman Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Thursday. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. This morning, I want to continue my appeal to the President of the Republic and to all our parliamentarians and to Mr. Speaker and to the Vice President of the Republic and to all well-meaning senior citizens of this country to add their voice to this campaign to say that the outrageous 100% and over increment in one session for dialysis for those who have kidney issues at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital is just unbearable. I am told that there are taxes that have been imposed on the consumables. So they used to pay 380 cedis. Now they are paying 765.42 Ghana cedis. What it means is that if you have to do at least 3 sessions a week, 717, 7214, 7321, you can add the 65. Calculate it. You have gone. 717, 7214, 7321. You're more than 2,100, almost 2,000, 6 times 318. You're almost hitting 3,000. And then you multiply that by 12 because you have to do 4 weeks.